All right, let's just go ahead and get this propped up right here. There we go. So I'm propping up the camera along the pillar of the car just because in the last video that I did, I noticed it was a little bit shaky and I want it to look a little bit more stable just so it's not so distracting. So as you can tell, I'm at a Supercharger. I had tried to record a video a little bit sooner than when this is coming out. And I actually did record this whole entire video, but I just didn't like the way it came out. I was out of state. I was actually in Arizona when I had filmed the first half of it, and I was interrupted and never got a chance to finish recording the video. I tried to finish recording it when I got back home to California, but I just didn't like the way it came out. I noticed that I say a lot. So if you catch me saying it's just habit. I'm still new to speaking in front of the camera. I'm still new to getting comfortable with it, and it takes me a minute to gather my thoughts sometimes. So bear with me if you catch it. I just thought I'd throw that little disclaimer out there. So anyways, this whole video is going to be about why I decided to purchase a Tesla. And I'll even go over a little bit of my vehicle history, just because a lot of the times when I see videos similar to this, it's important to know where you're coming from before you would decided to purchase an electric vehicle. So I first got my driver's license in 2014. I was a sophomore in high school, 16 years old. And my very first car was a 2001 Pontiac Grand Am. It was red. It was really cool. I thought I was the coolest kid on the block because I had like a sports car. It had been sitting in my family's driveway for a few years, and so we had gotten it fixed up and everything, and it was good to go for me. Now, that's not to say it didn't have its issues. I mean, I had to use pliers to adjust my climate controls. My driver's side mirror only worked every other day. Don't know what was up with that. I would have friends in the car and I'd be like, it's Tuesday, it's not gonna roll down, even though it would be hot. So it had its issues, but I drove that car from 2014 to 2017. So 3 years, a little over 3 years actually. But one day I was at a stoplight, the car just shut off on me, stopped working. Luckily there was a car wash close by. And so a couple people were willing to help me push the car into safety, and I was able to get it towed back to my house. But now I had an issue. I had to buy a new car. So at the time I was about 19 years old, and I'm looking around with my mom and my grandma and my uncle, and we're all trying to find a good car deal. You know, we're looking on CarMax, we're looking at used sales, private sales, new car sales, everything like that. So it had been maybe a couple weeks, and I was in kind of like our family's little backup car, but I needed to get something new. I wanted something that would have a decent amount of room, have good gas mileage, and not be too expensive. So my family and I had gone over to a Toyota dealership, and I actually got a really good deal on a brand new 2017 Toyota Corolla. I only had about $1,000 to put down, but after my grandparents looked at it, my mom looked at it, we all decided, you know what, it's a pretty good deal. So we took it. Now, the Corolla I actually really liked. I mean, it was the first car that I had that had a touchscreen. First car that I had that had partial leather seats. It had this really cool blue trim that surrounded the doors, the seats, even parts of the dash. It was really nice actually. It would show the album art. I'll put a picture of it so you can kind of see what the interior looks like, because it was actually rather simple and I really liked it. I had the car for about 3 years, no issues with it whatsoever. I popped a tire on it twice, but I mean, that's not something you can always control. And that was pretty much it. I put 60,000 miles on it, but about a year and a half into ownership, I discovered Tesla. Now, I knew, I was like, man, I don't know if this is something I'll ever be able to afford. It was something that I had recently just learned about. This was, I would say, 2018. I had known about Tesla as a company, but I didn't know about Tesla's, what they can do. I just knew that they were electric cars. Didn't know anything else beyond that. So I ended up getting a new job working for a company where basically if somebody wanted to purchase a new vehicle, well, they were used vehicles, but a new vehicle to them, my job was to drive that car to their home, to their work, wherever they wanted to meet up. They could do a test drive. I'd give them information on the car. And if they wanted to purchase the car right then and there, they were able to do that. I had all the paperwork. I had registration forms, everything. I would fill it out for them, make sure everything is solid, make sure that their loan goes through and everything, and they would get the car. So I was driving all different kinds of cars all day long. I was in Teslas, I was in BMWs, I was in normal Camrys and Corollas and Civics and stuff. I was in just a wide span of cars every single day for a couple months. But we had a warehouse, and in that warehouse, there were a bunch of Teslas in there. So the Model 3 was brand new. It, you know, was hardly ever out on the street. But being in the Bay Area, because we have the Tesla factory in Fremont, there's a whole bunch of Tesla stores all throughout the Bay. It was more common to see them. And one day I was at work and someone came up to me and said, hey, have you checked out the Model 3? We have one. So I was like, what is that? I went into the safe, grabbed a little key card, super confused at the fact that the car had a card, not a key. But I hopped in and I instantly was just mesmerized. I noticed the screen. I noticed there was no buttons. The interior was clean, all that stuff. And this was even before the white interior was available. There was only a black interior at this point, I believe, at least to my knowledge. So I absolutely fell in love and I started to do more and more research. It got to the point where I was watching Tesla videos every single day, every day. I mean, shout out to Like Tesla, Teslanomics with Ben Solons, Because Tesla, Just Tesla, What's Inside Family. They make a whole bunch of Tesla videos. I can go on. I mean, I watched probably every YouTuber that makes Tesla videos just because I wanted to know every little thing about the car. So time went on, I became absolutely obsessed, and I started to save up for a pretty good sized down payment. At the time, I was still making payments towards my Corolla, so it was hard to save that money, but I managed to try to save whatever little bits I could in order to get that towards either paying off the Corolla so I could then sell it, or using it as a down payment for the Model 3. So let's see where I'm at. We were in 2018. 2019, not a whole lot happened. It was a bit of a rough year, so I wasn't able to do too much other than, you know, drive cars at work, look at videos, and once in a while I would speak to a Tesla owner and just get their thoughts and ideas on it. 2020, however, as we all know, has been kind of a weird year, but this, of all the things, was the year that I was able to get my Tesla, which is absolutely awesome. So throughout 2018 all the way through the start of this year, I had been doing so much driving in my Corolla that I was spending $300 to $400 a month just on gas, on top of my car payment and insurance. So I was spending just about over $1,000 a month just to be able to drive the Corolla. And I had noticed, I was like, let me see how much these Model 3s cost, because there had been drops in the price, more people were getting them, and I see them everywhere. So I'm looking, I'm like, you know what, this could be possible. Like, this is something that I might be able to do. So as time goes on, I constantly check the website, see if there's any new changes, see if the price drops. All of a sudden now the white color is free, black is $1,000, all these little changes. And I'm like, well, maybe we can make this happen. So I'm continuing to study the cars and everything. And it gets to the point where I'm about ready to sell the Corolla. It's January of 2020. I have the little for sale sign on my car. I put up ads on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I put it on, what's it called? OfferUp, right? So I have it on a whole bunch of websites, and I had a few people who were interested in purchasing. I had a couple of people do little test drives, and people wanted to look at the car, but nobody was serious about purchasing it. And I can't blame them. They would have had to legitimately, they would have had to take over my loan. That would have really been the easiest way. So I don't blame nobody for wanting to buy the car, but I ended up looking into CarMax and Tesla and seeing who would give me more. CarMax offered me a higher rate for the vehicle, but Tesla was price matching CarMax. So I was like, I'll just go straight to Tesla. Well, the week I did my test drive and the week that I ordered the car was the same week Tesla stopped price matching CarMax. So in the end, I ended up just selling the car over to CarMax. And that same day that I sold the car to CarMax, I put my order in for the Model 3. That was May 19th. Now this kind of goes into the whole delivery day video, which was the last video that I made, where I waited about a month, picked up the car and everything. But a lot of people say that they have a hard time reaching somebody over at the service centers. It's a hard time speaking to someone. I didn't have that issue. When I did my test drive, I met a gentleman named Christopher, super nice guy, really helpful. He would always answer the phone. He would give me calls back. He would connect me to somebody if he was off work. So I had a pretty good experience with it, but I mean, everybody's experience can be different. Now, going into the savings and everything, being that I spend more money on the car as like a monthly payment, yes, the vehicle is more expensive, but now I don't pay for gas. So think about that. I mean, I don't spend that $300 to $400 a month on gas anymore. I just went from San Francisco down to Los Angeles to Arizona, back to Los Angeles, now headed back to San Francisco. I'm on my way. And I've spent maybe $100 on supercharging. If I was to do the same with gas, I'd probably be at least twice that much, if not 3 times as much. California gas is, you know, a little bit more expensive than other places, but I'm supercharging right now. I'll show you. I'm supercharging right now, and I've got 15 minutes left. I spent $5.60 on this session. I mean, you know that saying, time is money? It is really true when it comes to an electric car. I mean, with gas, you save a whole bunch of time. It takes 5 minutes. You pull up to the station, you pump your gas for 5 minutes, and now you're $60 broker. Or in my case, you know, I come to the charging station, I sit there for 25, 30 minutes. So that gives me time to rest, gives me time to chill, especially on these long drives. I mean, like I said, I've been going in and out of state. So that's really nice. And I spend maybe $10. Depends. Right now I'm at $5.60. I'm almost done charging. By the time I'm done, I'll probably be close to $8. But it's not bad. I mean, it's awesome. So while this isn't the most detailed breakdown of what it is to be a Model 3 owner and how expensive it is, I will tell you, I do save at minimum $100 a month just by not having to pay for gas. I also, my insurance didn't really go up by much. It went up $4. I did end up switching insurance companies, but that was only because I got a little bit of a better rate with a new one. I mean, my old insurance company was going to charge me, I think, $12 more than I was paying for the Corolla. This company that I'm with now only charges me $4. And other than that, I mean, I have been loving the thing. There are a lot of pros and there are a couple cons, which I'll get into in another video. But other than that, I mean, that's the whole reason why I decided to purchase the Tesla. I was driving a lot of miles. I was racking miles up on my car, spending $300-400 a month on gas. And this was the answer to all of that. And it has been awesome. So, other little thing that I need to let you guys know is I will be having no videos coming out for a little while. I do have something going on where I'll be kind of out for a few weeks. So I'm going to try to record maybe one more video before the end of next week and upload that after this one. But please feel free to leave any comments that you guys have, any questions, any video suggestions down in the comments below. I want to thank the new subscribers who came after the last video. I think I ended up getting about 7 more. So I know the channel is still pretty small, but the last video got over 1,000 views, and that's huge to me. That's awesome. I know compared to large YouTubers and stuff, 1,000 videos is nothing, but you know, for a guy with 16 subscribers and just his, you know, little Model 3 videos, that's a little bit of a milestone for me. So I really appreciate that. If you aren't already, please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video if this video was helpful to you in any way, and share it with those who might be interested in a Model 3 or have Model 3 questions. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that any of you guys might have. Feel free to leave comments down below. And once again, as I always say, if you or anyone that you know are interested in purchasing a Model 3, please feel free to use my referral link down in the description below. It gets both of us 1,000 free Supercharger miles. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Have a good one.